Yo, what's going down? You know what it is. It is Wednesday. It's hump day. Today's date happens to be March 9th. Shout out to one of my best friends. Happy birthday, David Hill. This is an Imperfect Action show. And as you know, on this show, we get down to it. We take imperfect action with a lesson, a strategy, a principle about marketing and business that you can literally take imperfect action on after you learn something from today's show. Now, today's show, I got a guest on the show, and a guest on the show is going to drop some gems. So, I got Todd Capital coming on. So, he will be on shortly, and he's going to be talking about 10X. What is 10X? We hear Grant Cardone talk about it. We hear other people talk about it. Grant Cardone has basically branded 10X. And it's really multiplying your efforts by 10 wherever you currently are. And that you're going to reach more successes, right? So, like we always do on the show, I'm going to send a quick message to our text community. And Todd jumping on right now, Mr. Charles Oglesby. So let me just tag him in real quick. What's up, brother?
How you doing, man? I'm actually trying to connect these AirPods, but they may or may not work.
Cool. Yeah. Do your thing right now. I'm just sending a quick little message to the community. Let them know we're live. Live with Todd Capital. We're talking about 10X. So send a quick message to the community. We are live. You know what it is, man. So, you're wearing my favorite color, man.
Yellow is a good color for branding, in my opinion.
That's my favorite color right there. Let's see what we got going on. You gonna run with the headphones? Or you gonna run without the headphones?
No headphones. No headphones.
All right, cool. All right. Well, welcome to the show, man. I'm excited to have you on the show. I actually had a little joke with myself the other day, right? Because when you confirmed that you was gonna be on the show, I was like, I've been trying to get you on a podcast for a minute, right?
True.
So I'm like, man, I had to create a whole new show. I had to create a whole new platform to get you on, but I just thought that was funny.
That's very true. But I think that a part of it is just you being more visible. And so before, I'd only really seen what you were doing just from like that email that you sent, right?
Yeah.
And so now you're doing TikToks. You're all over TikTok. You're doing your show. You're inside of the mastermind. And so I think it's important for people who are building a brand to know that, like, that's why you got to go 10X. That's why you got to be omnipresent. You got to be on multiple platforms, because if you think the email is going to do it for you, it might not. It might do it for some people. It might not do it for other people. But I mean, a lot of people are getting emails all the time. I'm getting emails all the time. I'm getting requests all the time. I'm getting stuff put on my calendar all the time. When I start seeing you and noticing you, it's like, okay, let's do this. Let's make sure that we make this happen. So, you did what you're supposed to do, but I don't know. That might help somebody, because I'm pretty sure they're trying to get somebody's attention who's out there and they're busy and they got all these things going on.
Yep.
And you gotta be doing your own thing. You got to be hustling and building too. So.
Yeah, definitely. I would have to agree with that. Just from the standpoint where we're talking about effort, because obviously we're talking about 10X. I think it was a great segue how you put that. You definitely have to just focus on building your own thing and doing your own thing. And some people may be an email. Some people may be a DM. Some person may be like 20 DMs. You know what I'm saying? Some people may be like a DM, a text, like everyone's path to what you're trying to do is different. You know what I mean? Right. So, just you being on this show and what it took for you to just, get on this episode, I definitely want people in real time and actually on the playback to just take that as a testament. Because again, like, I had to create a whole nother platform. I'm in.
You didn't have to create another platform. You just happened to create another platform.
That's the story that I'm going with. But yeah. Another thing too is, like, I've always paid attention to what you had going on, even back in the day, with, like, when you did my LLC for me. And when I saw there was an opportunity to kind of tap in and invest by being in a mastermind, that was a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're definitely someone that puts out a lot of content, a lot of value, and the value always supersedes the price point. That's what I noticed. You know what I'm saying? So it was a no-brainer for me to tap in. But today's episode is about you. It's about your message. It's about what you can contribute to the community. And I think 10x is a very, very strong statement. I asked Charles what he wanted to touch on, and like he was like, "Yo, we gotta go 10x." So I'm like, "Hell yeah, let's do it, man." So what does 10x mean to you as far as from where you at and someone that's just starting? Like how can they like take that concept and like utilize it?
Yeah. Man, for those who don't know, the 10x rule is a book by Grant Cardone, which essentially says that in order to achieve the success that you really want, you have to set your goals 10 times higher. And you have to take 10 times the amount of action that you think is going to be required to meet your goals. So what is your goal? Your goal might be to make $1 million this year. All right, so we're going to go ahead and multiply that times 10. You're not aiming for $1 million anymore. You're aiming for 10 million. And so whatever you thought you needed to do to get to that million, that 10 million, we're going to ramp that up times 10 as well. So you thought you had to post 2 times a day on Instagram. Now we posting 20 times on Instagram a day. You thought we had to post 5 times on Twitter. Now we're posting 10 times on Twitter. And it might seem excessive. It might seem crazy, but think about it. What's your goal? Your goal is 10 million. And so you got to do the action that lines up with that goal. And a lot of us don't really realize, we think it just falls out of the sky. We see these athletes, we see these entertainers, and we think they just showed up on the scene and started making big bucks. No, he said 5 beats a day for 3 summers. A lot of folks ain't waiting 3 summers. A lot of people ain't making 5 beats a day. A lot of people ain't making 5 beats a week. 5 beats a day is 10x. And then you wonder why he is where he is. And so a lot of stuff happens when you're taking that much action. A lot of stuff happens. You're able to build your brand and grow your brand. More importantly, you're able to perfect your craft. You're able to get really, really good. You're getting so good that you're becoming better than the competition. So it's not good enough just to be in the space. Once you get in the space, now you got to compete in the space. Now you got to stand out in that space. And so that's what the 10x is going to do. That's what the 5 beats a day is going to do for you. And I think that is kind of where I want to go. A lot of people, they say they have a business and then they sit down and they just wait for the customers to fall in their lap, and it doesn't work like that. You got to be out there. You got to be creating podcasts, maybe creating multiple podcasts, because you never know what's going to resonate with your audience. You got to be out there posting different pieces of content. And I'm not just saying action for action's sake. It has to be intentional action that you put thought into, that you put effort into, that is going to resonate with your audience. So we're not just creating a podcast just to say we did it. No, every podcast, every post has to be powerful. I'm aiming for 1,000 likes. I'm aiming for 1,000 views, 1,000 listens every single time I put something out there. But by me putting it out there, I'm allowing my business to grow, and you're building that business brick by brick. And these pieces of action are those bricks.
So quick question for you. So what do you think someone that says like, yeah, I hear, I hear what Charles is talking about. I see the book. Man, I haven't read it yet. I'm thinking about reading it, but I don't see how like I can go 10x right now. I just started. How am I gonna go 10x? I just started.
Yeah, I would say don't neglect your come up story. Don't neglect the process of you trying to get to that point. Man, all this stuff is so relevant, and this is why I resonate with Kanye so much, is because we are all Kanye in a lot of ways. We like to think we're Jay-Z. We like to think we're Warren Buffett. We like to think we're these people who got placed there, when in reality, no, like a lot of us are potentially Kanye. And the difference between you and Kanye is putting the work in, but also documenting your process. And so when we think of content, we're thinking that polished, that pretty stuff, that video with the clean cuts and transitions and all of that. And that's not content. Content is you saying, hey, I'm trying to create a t-shirt brand. This is my first t-shirt. I bought this machine. This is why I bought this machine. This is the kind of ink I'm using. This is how I'm creating my designs. People buy into that stuff. They become vested in your process. And so then as you level up, you're still documenting that. So content in 10x isn't pretty perfect. It's real and what's really going on. And your customers are real people They're not robots. They don't have it all together. They're not perfect. Even if they might present themselves as perfect on the internet, they're not perfect either. And so they're going to connect with your imperfections. So it's okay to show your flaws. It's okay to show your imperfections. It's okay to talk about what you struggle with. It's okay to be your authentic, true self. I have a social media platform that I've had for some time, but all I do is talk about like what I'm going on in my daily life. That's it. Some people like it, some people don't like it, but I've been able to grow a pretty substantial following just by being real. So be real, but be present. If you're not posting, if you're not putting it out there, your business does not exist. You might think it exists because in your brain exists, but on the social media, on the internet, literally you don't exist if you don't post. And if you don't post enough, you're going to be forgotten.
But those are bars right there. I think two of the strongest things I took from those were definitely document the process, be present, show your imperfections, and then obviously show up, right?
Yeah, right.
So,
I mean, anything that you're doing in your business is content. Anything.
Get that real quick, because I want you guys to. We're gonna run through this again, but I want you guys to get it. Okay, how about this? If someone's just starting out, I think this is good. Someone's just starting out, they're hearing the message, they got a TikTok, they got an Instagram, they just open up a YouTube. So using the 10X strategy, let's say they're a coach, they're a brand new coach. Using the 10X strategy relative to social media, how do you think? Let's put together a quick little like strategy for this individual. So they got brand new platforms, just started coaching. How should they approach it with keeping 10X in mind? How often should they post? Where should they be at for a brand new person with those three platforms?
Well, I think we got to talk about what qualifies you to coach. And share that. Share your credentials, share your success. I don't have it broken down. Really, I don't. I just know that I do like a lot of what I need to do. And so I would love to say, okay, we need to have 5 posts that are motivation posts, and 5 posts that are sharing the success of other people posts, and 5 posts that are behind the scenes posts. I can't tell you that, but what I can tell you is those are the things you should be posting. So I grew my platform in the beginning just sharing the success of other people in my space. So that's one thing you could be doing. Another thing you could be doing is sharing current events that are relevant in your space. So if you are coaching on entrepreneurship, go to Entrepreneur Magazine, go to Black Enterprise, and find relevant articles and post those articles. I like to post at least once a day for something that's noteworthy or newsworthy, and those get a ton of engagement. They're going to get a ton of likes. They're going to bring eyeballs to your page. The behind the scenes, what are you working on right now? Really simple stuff like what does your office look like? What does the setup look like? Share that kind of stuff. But I would say the goal, in my opinion, is to post on Instagram at least 5 times a day. Some people say 2 to 3 times. I think you got to post at least 5 times a day. And so people will say, oh, well, the algorithm is going to, I'm going to be flooding people's timeline. That's not necessarily true because the algorithm spaces things out. But the more you do post, the more often or more likely you're going to be at the top of that person's feed. The very first thing they see when you show up. People tell me all the time, like, man, every time I log on to Instagram, I see you. That's because it's by design. I would rather you see me because I post a lot than you never see me. And yeah, my ego's not intact. And yeah, like you didn't attack my ego or like say I'm doing the most or whatever. But you still see me. The 10X rule implies that we want the most. And so in order to get the most, you got to do the most. And a lot of people don't want to do the most. So if it takes 25 posts a day to get to your goal, are you going to post 25 posts a day? Or are you going to say, no, 25 is too much? The goal is the goal is the goal. So let's get to the goal. And so, I mean, I can't tell you how often to post, but I can tell you the things to post. And one of the things to post is your testimonials, your success stories, even if they're your just personal testimonials. When I first started, testimonials drive business. But when I first started and I didn't have a lot of customer testimonials, I just showed my success. So I'd make a post and I could say, look what I've done. Boom, 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 boom. And then as I started getting customers who had success, then I would say, okay, I'm just going to promote my customer success because that's the most relevant to my audience anyway, because they want to know that somebody that I've taught has become successful, not just that I'm successful. And so then I kind of pivoted to that. And then those beget more testimonials. And so testimonials are key. Make sure you have those locked and loaded. I recommend even having an album in your folder where you just have your testimonials. You can always go to that bank of testimonials.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. That's a gem.
So
that's a gem.
Yeah, I would. Right.
So what? No. I think I might have cut you off real quick. What else was you gonna say?
Man, I would just say that post things that are gonna help people. I'll say focus really on helping people. Can I give you some education? Can I give you some game? Can I teach you some tips about how you can build your business for free? Give away a bunch of value for free. There's an endless amount of customers on the internet. And so just because you might give away a little bit of the game for free doesn't mean that you've given all the game away for free. Doesn't mean you're giving the game away to everybody for free. You can always find another customer. You can always find another person. But you got to build that credibility. And the way you build that credibility is by sharing what you know. You can't just pop up. I mean, maybe you can pop up as like an influencer, like this is my car, and then say, hey, if you want to learn how I did it, and boom. There's some people who do it that way. I don't personally do it that way. I recommend you just establishing yourself as a credible figure by the things that you do in your daily life and by the information that you share and tweet about.
I think one of the first things, even to go back when we were talking about like how that brand new person should approach it, is I think is committing. I think the first level of 10x is committing. So for instance, right, you was like, yo, whatever your goal is, let's 10x that. So if I look at my goal and I say my goal is $2 million, then it's like, okay, well, if I 10x that, that's 20 million. Okay, cool. So the effort that I'm putting out for my goal right now, it's not the same effort. I need to get to 20. I need to do 10x that effort. So whatever you're doing, you need to 10x that in all the different levels that you are. And then it makes me think of something that I hear from clients all the time. And then we're gonna get into a question from one of the community. Is that a lot of people feel like they don't want to send multiple emails. They don't want to post multiple times. They don't want to send multiple text messages. They don't want to send, they don't want to make multiple calls because they feel like they're bothering people, right? But obviously that's something that they're internalizing on the inside. But I just wanted to ask you, like, if someone is giving you value and they're delivering the value at a high frequency, from your standpoint, is that something that bothers you, or it's because they're giving you value? You're happy with receiving multiple messages? Because I just want, I want people to understand what that is.
So when the mortgage company sends you the email or the letter and they say the mortgage is due, do they care if they're bothering you? When your bills pop up, do they care if no, they don't care if they're bothering you. So unfortunately, we have to take that same approach. The biggest companies in the world do not care if they're bothering you. They don't care if they're interrupting your TV show. They don't care if they're interrupting your browsing experience. They don't care if they are ignoring you on the radio. They have a message and you need to hear that message. Unfortunately, when you come from a community that's built of consumers, you tend to think that being a producer is taboo. Like, I remember when I grew up, I used to think that like the person who like had a shop was poor, or the person who like was running a liquor store was poor. The person who had that little restaurant in the corner was poor. And you peel back the veil and you realize those are the wealthiest people out there. Like, they are good. And you have to kind of adopt those kind of methods and just be okay with it. And it might not be common, and people around you might not be doing it, because if you're not around a bunch of entrepreneurs, they're going to think it's weird. They're going to think that you're annoying or you're bugging them, but that's not our people. You got to find your people. And so that's one of the things that's also really important, is when you're out there sharing your message and you might think you're annoying people, you might annoy the people that it's not for. And that's okay, because you don't need everybody. But there's people who love every single thing you put out, and they can't wait for you to send that email. They can't wait for you to make that post. They can't wait for you to create that podcast. And so we have to classify those two people, but we got to be present for the people who love us. And if you're not doing enough to not not offend people who don't want you, you're neglecting the audience who loves you. I mean, I'll never forget. I sent an email once and I got 2 responses, and I meant to screenshot it. One dude was like, please unsubscribe. The other lady was like, man, I read all the way to the end. This is great. Thank you for sending this. If you don't want to be subscribed, that's cool. I don't need you. I sold a course 20,000 times and made about $4 million. Do you know how big the internet is? The internet is huge. You don't even need everybody on the internet. You could get a drop in the bucket and be set for life. A drop in the bucket. 20,000 people is nothing. I got 150,000 followers on that account. That means even the people who follow me didn't buy everything. And so it doesn't matter if everybody rocks with you, man. You just got to get your little piece. Just get your piece and put your stuff out there. And I don't care if I'm annoying y'all, but I just got to find people who love it, man.
Yo, I love what you just said right there, bro. You said a bunch of things that are crazy. Obviously, like there's unlimited people on the internet. You know what I'm saying? You don't need everybody. You know, you just need your little slice, a little drop in the bucket. You know what I'm saying? You put your little community, your crew together. Obviously, there might be somebody that loves everything you put out, and then somebody else that just it ain't for, and that's fine, right? So I want to get into one of the questions for somebody from the community. Whitney's asking, she started a new cleaning business, one woman team. I feel like posting can get overwhelming. What advice would you have to help me not feel overwhelmed?
Automate it. One of the best inventions ever is Buffer. And you can even do the same thing through Canva. They have a platform that I use called Hype Fury. And what you can do, because sometimes you might not feel like marketing. Sometimes you might not feel like posting. Sometimes you might not even be up to do either of those things. And with automations, you can schedule it to constantly be firing off whether you are conscious of you should be doing it or not. So really lean into automation. A lot of these things, they're not free, but they're low cost. And the way I like to look at it is really spending money on your business isn't really spending money on your business. That's why they so freely give you business credit. I'm going to give you money to make money every day. I'm not going to give you money to look like Gucci, but I'm going to give you money to get that money back. So Buffer, what you can do is you can go in, you can at least automate 4 posts. They give you like 4 slots. They pick the times. All you got to do is plug in the images, type in the caption. I like to copy and paste the caption I'm going to use. Just use a simple caption, the same caption over and over again. I like to copy and paste my hashtags, the same hashtags I'm going to use over and over again. And I just go through and I lay out all my content for a week. It could take you 30 minutes. It could take you 30 minutes. If you're focused on publishing your content and getting it out there, you can get 4 posts a day for that week, because really that's 28 posts. But if you put out 28 posts, you're solid. Now, what's really cool is then what you post on top of the scheduled post is the icing on the cake. Now you're just slam dunking on them now. So we want to schedule out the base, the foundation, and then just start floating on them with stuff that just comes to mind. And so then you're not pressured to post something, because I don't want you to post them just to post it. Every post has to be relevant. Every post has to hit home. But man, scheduling it out is good. Now, Hype Fury, what I like about Hype Fury is they take automation to a next level. Hype Fury is for Twitter. You can even do some things on Instagram with Hype Fury. But what they'll do is they'll go back and find your powerful, relevant tweets that have gotten like 10 likes, 10 retweets, that kind of stuff. And they'll retweet it onto the timeline. So it continues to get engagement for you and continues to post. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. A lot of us are saying the same thing. So if you've had some powerful content, recycle that content. Don't try to like get back in the lab and have to rethink of different things. Recycle stuff that resonates with people, and then go back and then just kind of float on top of it with the things that are new and come to mind.
I think that's great, man. I love that. Just to recap, Todd mentioned Buffer, Hype Fury as great softwares to check out. Definitely automating the process. We got another question. This one's coming from Ty. She's asking, what's the best hustles to invest in to start passive income?
That's a good question. And that's a very good question, because I've tried them all. So we have a vending machine route. We have rental properties. We have Turo. Got a semi truck. Got digital courses. Got a community. Got a mastermind. And my favorite, and I think this might be relevant to you, specific to you. So maybe try them all out and then figure out what shakes out. And I've realized that we also have a barbershop that's a struggle, but we're going to turn into a podcast studio. It's going to be lit. I just got that idea.
Yeah, you can have your shop up in there.
And so that's going to be cool when we make that happen. I think you got to find out what works for you. The great thing about the internet is there's information out there that is affordable. You can learn about all these different things. So it's not like we're completely lost. My favorite are these three: digital products, because I can make money anywhere in the world at any time in the day. I don't have to deliver it. I don't have to store it. I don't have to ship it. I don't have to do any of that stuff. I don't have to pay for shipping. I don't have to pay for packaging, none of that stuff. So there's like Ecomm in the grand sense, and Ecomm is great because with Ecomm, you have access to the entire world. And so before, if you wanted to sell your hamburger, you had to put a hamburger stand on each corner of America. Now you effectively have a store in every single city in America because your store is in somebody's cell phone. Now, if you can position that to be drop shipped, or it can be something that's more hands off, great. Digital products, I think, take Ecomm to the next level, because all you're really doing is driving traffic to a landing page or driving traffic to your link tree, and then converting or creating content that's going to help you drive traffic there. Digital products are by far my favorite, but Ecomm opens the doors. That's why Amazon is worth so much, because they are able to sell things all over the globe. And for the most part, they don't have very high expenses because they don't have to put every single thing into a store, no storage. Really, all they have is warehouses. And a lot of these companies that also have retail stores also have warehouses. So Ecomm, digital products. The second, I like Turo. Why do I like Turo? Because I like cars. I don't mind washing them. I don't mind driving them. I don't mind giving somebody a pleasurable experience when they're driving my car, because I like cars. And the ROI is lit. I can make about $100 a day on Turo. So if that car is turning every single day, I can make between $2,000 and $3,000 a month. I love Turo, and it's passive. And what's great is I live really close to an airport, so I can just drop it off there, Uber back home, Uber to the office. My office is literally right around the corner from the airport. So really, I could just be storing all the cars here. They don't charge you for parking here. That's one of my favorites. And the last one is the truck. I like the truck because the ROI is lit. You can make so much money in trucking. When my truck is running and I'm about to get it back running, I'm making about $1,200 a week passive. So the truck, Turo, and digital products for me. Rental properties, not so much, because when I started making digital money, it didn't make sense to chase somebody around for $800 a month when I could make $800 a day, or $1,000 a day, or $2,000 a day, or when I'd made as much money that those properties are going to generate for 10 years in a month. It didn't make any sense. I'm not going to argue with you over pennies. So that's why I kind of got out of rental properties, or am mentally out. We're still there. We still have them. They still do what they do. But those are my three favorites.
I think those are great. We'll just do a quick little recap. If you're just joining us on the show, welcome to the Imperfect Action Show. We're with my guy Charles, Todd Capital, and we're touching on ways to go 10x. Right. So some of the things he touched on earlier was documenting the process, right? Being present, showing your imperfections, and anything that you create could be content. These are all things that you can do right now in terms of like leveling up your way in your journey to 10x. We also touched on some automation, right? He mentioned Buffer, he mentioned Hype Fury, and he just recapped some of his top three hustles: digital products, Ecomm, trucking, and Turo. We got a couple more questions, and then, as you guys know, we're in and out, right? Only 30 minutes on this show. So one question for the community. We got about two more. Actually, yeah, three more, and then we'll fade out for today. What about the best cryptos? Are there any cryptos that we should be watching?
I'm not big on crypto, guys. I apologize. I own Bitcoin. I own Ethereum. I actually have some literature trying to understand this whole crypto thing. It's difficult for me because I have a traditional finance background. So my undergrad degree is in finance. And so I understand why stocks do what stocks do. And a lot of those fundamentals don't translate to the cryptocurrency market. So it's really tough for me to grasp my mind around what's there. I'm still waiting for it to develop further, but I do own some. But I can't just say buy this, because I just can't.
All right. Next question is, what are your top three cars driven on Turo? What do you see? What are like some of the three top popular cars on Turo?
Tesla Model 3 is very popular. BMW 3 Series is very popular. The Jeep Wrangler is very popular. And then one of my cars is a Lexus ES, which I think is very popular. I have like the luxury edition Lexus ES, so it's more sleek and luxurious. On the outside, that gets booked up. A lot of people love it. And why I like it is because it's an economical vehicle. Not necessarily economical, but it's a vehicle that has a very strong engine. The maintenance is It's not going to break down on you. The Lexus I had before this, I drove to like 200,000 miles. So I'm not really concerned that they're going to drive it down into the ground. But Teslas are huge right now. And BMW 3 Series, you wouldn't expect that. But people would like to be in luxury without splurging on luxury. So most people, you'll make just as much money with the Tesla Model 3 as you will with the Model S, but you'll have less cost. So you can get two Model 3s for the price of a Model S, and people will rent the same thing because they just want to be in a Tesla. They just care about the Tesla.
100%. Last question we have, and then we're gonna make sure that they know where to find you. Tap into some of the things that you currently offer. Any pointers on starting Turo besides a tracker and navigation system?
I would say if you haven't already get started with what you have. So a lot of people, they're like, oh, I got to go buy a car. I got to do this. I got to do that. Put what you got on the market. I put my car on the market, and then I was without a car for like 3 weekends. And I was like, bro, I got to get another car. And so that motivation pushed me to go and just do whatever I had to do to get another car. So that's one thing. Another is get your systems in line. What I did is I do a lot of different things systematically. So I park it in the same spot. I have templates that I send to every person that are the same thing over and over again. I have very, very, very thorough instructions. So send very thorough instructions because you don't want to do the back and forth. You know what questions you're going to get. You know they're going to ask you all these different things. So just answer them all in one chunk. And then what you do is you copy that into your notes section, or you copy it from another message. And so then you know, like, all right, this person's renting, copy and paste there. All the instructions are there. And then the same thing for the drop-off instructions. So when they're picking it up, I got a set of instructions. When they're dropping off, I got a set of instructions. Get a car wash membership. That's really important. So that then you can turn it in the car wash. You're not spending $20 a car wash. I spend $30 a month. I get unlimited car washes. Rubber floor mats, because you don't want them stepping on your carpet floor mats and staining and getting outside of the wet and getting on top of your rubber or your regular car mats. That's important. Man, what else? Systems, templates, and just protecting your vehicle. So what I think that I did that was really smart is the vehicle that I have as like an unlimited mile warranty because I bought it certified pre-owned. So if you buy a certified pre-owned vehicle, they're going to give you a really generous warranty. And now it's fearless. I'm not worried about anything they could do because I can always take it there and they can fix it. And then also the tires that I have, I bought brand new tires. And so the tires come with the road hazard warranty. Brand new tires, I got 2 years that they can drive on them and they be getting flats. So make sure you get those taken care of too. Just become very good friends with a mechanic or a shop. I got a guy over at Lexus that he just knows me. I'm always there. He helps me out. They give me discounts, all that kind of stuff. But it's a fun business. It's really a fun business. The goal is to scale that one even further. It's just lit. You got all these cars parked. People be looking at you crazy. Why you got all these cars?
One of the things I would say is Todd has a fire Turo course. I purchased it, and it's very, very affordable. So you guys that are interested in learning more insight on Turo, I would recommend that you guys grab this course. What I'm going to do is in the captions below, I'm going to leave a link so you can tap into that course, and I'll leave Todd's contact information there as well. We were talking about the 10X. I actually have a PDF version of 10X. So what I'll do is, for those that are interested, there'll be a link below. Fill out the questionnaire, and I will email you a free copy of the 10X ebook if you're interested in that. So
I would
Charles,
say
go ahead,
there's
bro.
so much of the 10X that we didn't get to cover. I didn't because it's a long.
Bro, I
book.
can bring you back on, bro. You come back.
We can talk about each topic in detail.
Yeah.
But, it was fun.
I'll definitely bring you back. Yeah, let them know where they can tap into you.
Yeah, I'm all over the internet. At Todd Billion on Instagram, at Real Todd Billion on Twitter, at Todd.Capital on Instagram for the business page. I'm on TikTok at Todd.Capital. And yeah, just out there trying to build this brand and grow.
100%, guys. Look, it's an Imperfect Action show. Have my guy Charles on, Todd Capital. Make sure you guys tap in. Take some of this information that you just learned in today's episode and implement it. Start where you are, 10x your goals, 10x your movements. If you're only posting one time on the gram, 10x that. If you're only sending out one email a week, 10x that, right? Be omnipresent. Do more. Appreciate you guys. See you guys tomorrow. Charles, I appreciate you, man. I'll see you in the mastermind, bro.
Yeah. Also, they can text me at 909-403-4063. I got to start using that more.
Text me the number, and I'll drop it in the caption below.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, man.
All right, y'all.